Major League. Adding fog with the FOGDOG, straight to the top with the pace drop. Pace too hot, you can't keep up when he heats up and takes the lead. Now all you see is Drake University. So it's time to subscribe for the best alive and go stride for stride with the Batman pride. It's Adding Fog coming at you with the Top Dog exclusive. It's Adding Fog exclusive. Adding Fog, FOGDOG. Subscribe now for the Top Dog.
Action. Ooh, that was a spicy clap. It is the UK Olympic Trials weekend. We'll be completely honest, the heats have already happened, but wanted to make a quick introduction and kind of talk a bit about the weekend and then show the heat. So going into this weekend, obviously step number one is to get through the heat. They don't actually announce start lists until about an hour before the race, so it makes it a little bit tricky to time warming up and stuff, but yeah, felt really good going into it and didn't have a massive kind of plan going into the heat. The UK Olympic Trials, there's 3 spots for the Olympic team, but Josh Kerr is running the 800 at the Olympic Trials. He's not running the 1500, so the top 2 at the trials, if you have the qualifying standard, you go to the Olympics, off to Paris. Charlotte Pukas behind the lens chose an Airbnb that very conveniently has a massive picture of Paris. So I think that must be a filter on Airbnb. You can select only living rooms with pictures of Paris. And we happen to get one right next to the stadium. So hopefully a really good omen for this weekend in general. Who knows, will I get through my heat? That is step number 1. And then on to the final, hopefully. Going into the heat, I felt good. Top 4 in each heat. 3 heats of about 12 guys. So about 36 guys in total, and 12 go on to the final. So I guess here comes the heat.
Adam Fogg there though, in the red, the Coventry Godiva Harriers. Half Australian, half Brit. He's chosen to go for the British side of the family, as Foggy as he's known, just 25 years old. 3:49 mile he ran indoors last winter, that's his Olympic qualifying mark. So away they go then. All of these fellas know exactly what they've got to do. Make the first 4. In second place, Andy McGill, a 3:48 performer. That's all this year. Foggy now moving to the 4, in control of this one. He is the class act in this race by some margin at his best, although he was disappointing in Rome at the European Championships, and I know he was very frustrated with his performance there.
Heat at the World Indoor Championships got advanced through to the final. 59-51, so faster for these men in this heat than the previous race.
Indeed, Gum there as well, in the Phoenix colours in 5th place as they go through. It's not been quick, doesn't need to be quick, it's all about positioning. He goes through 800 metres in 1:58.72. Funnily enough, it is the fastest of the 3 races.
Smart running from Adam Fogg, keeping himself out of trouble. Tom Keane actually fell last year at the National Championships, did get advanced, but he'll be delighted this is more spread out. Tyler Billiard, the British Universities champion, who ran a championship record here on this track. He's in 4th place at the moment. That's 4 through to the final. Gum running superbly well in 3rd place at the moment, but there's still 6 men for 4 spots.
Tom Keane in 2nd place and looking quite comfortable. Foggy's gradually whittling it down. The shortest of this quintet, so to speak, but only 4 will go through by right, and it does look like Jack Gum is going to miss out here as Foggy. Adam Fogg eases towards the line and crosses there quite comfortably. 3:39, looking very, very comfortable indeed. And Jack Gum, bless him, recognising 30-40 metres out he wasn't going to get there. He's holding his right ankle. I don't know if he's been spiked or if he's carrying an injury, but he knew he wasn't going to get through in the first 4.
Here we have the race day spikes. Space grade spikes, actually, courtesy of Alex Loper and Loper Machine. These were the gold colour. The gold has slightly rubbed off, but very nice spikes and lightweight as well. Yesterday in the heat, felt pretty good. 100 in, as I was saying before, I didn't really have much of a plan other than being in the top 4, and I knew going into it that was very realistic. It was something I knew I just had to get done, and 100 in, no one really wanted to take it on, and I could feel that it was going to be a little bit cagey. So 200 in, round into the home straight. Tom Keane was in the lead, but it wasn't that quick, and I just kind of thought I might as well put myself to the front and just move it along a little bit. I think we were 59 1:59.5 through 400, 1:58. Wound it up just a little bit to kind of make sure I was going to be safe in the top 4. Got myself through 3:39.4, I think, for the heat win. Felt pretty good. It never feels like anything particularly special, I feel like. Especially kind of when you're front running, you end up feeling like you are working a little bit, but I think I definitely could have had a bit more to give down the home straight or wherever if it was needed, but thankfully it wasn't, and all set for today. So we are just about to go for a little shakeout. Charlotte did a nice muddy bike ride yesterday, so is gonna maybe do the same thing today. There's some appalling gates around here where they, like barriers where they stop you going through on your bike, so that's a bit of a problem for the Strava segments out there. Yeah, you basically have to get off your bike, but thankfully on foot it's all good. So little shakeout now. We are 7 hours and 10 minutes out from race time. 9:45 a.m. right now, 4:55 p.m. race time. Top 2 made the Olympics. There's 3 of us in the race with the standard. George Mills, 3:31 season's best. Neil Gawley, 3:32 season's best, but that was a split in a 3:47 mile. Then me, 3:34 season's best, but I have the standard from running 3:49 during the indoor season in the mile. So technically someone else could get the standard today, but it's highly, highly unlikely that the race goes like that. And yeah, my goal 100% is to try and be in the top 2 and get myself a trip to the Olympics, which sounds kind of wild, but I mean, we have Paris as a picture on the wall, so I feel like I have to give myself a chance, and if I'm not in the top 2, I'll do everything I can to be as close to it and see what happens. Should be good.
Coventry Godiva Harries, a 3:34 performer who ran a 3:49 indoor mile, looked very good yesterday. Piers Copeland looked strong yesterday too, came very late. Let's have a look at the field. Tom Keane, Cambridge and Coleridge AC. Cameron Boyack there for Morpeth Harriers. Archie Davis, George Cootie, McLucky, Henry McLucky, Tom Dodd, Neil Gurley. Well, disappointed many in those European Championships, but he's had a fabulous season already. 3:30 man at his best. Adam Fogg ran 3:49 indoors in New York during the winter season. 3:34.44 is outdoor best. There's certainly improvement for that to come. Samuel Sharrig, George Mills, and Piers Copeland. Don't discount him. He's a very, very fast finisher, Piers Copeland. And Tyler Billiard completes the lineup here. So, just as they get going, the wind picks up from our right, so it's probably behind them down the back straight there as they cover this first 100. And right at the back is George Mills, taking things very steadily. I think he's probably expecting this to go slow. Foggy leads from Gurley. Neil Gurley, perhaps the most experienced of this field. Great miler, indoors and out. Great racer, looked superb this season. Perhaps he's just lacked a little bit of consistency, Hannah.
Well, Gawley was absolutely gutted to not take up a spot at the World Indoor Championships or not go for a spot with injury this spring, and he was flabbergasted by the time he ran at Prefontaine in that mile. And I think Gawley, perhaps that European Championships, that just showed that he has had a bit of a gap in his training, but it's a good few weeks since then.
Gurley on his shoulders, well positioned. Archie Davis there in the pack, just having to negotiate a bit of traffic. Tom Keane staying in third place there on the shoulder of Gurley. Now Mills moving through as they come through with 2 laps to run. Pack still very tightly bunched. Look at this, all over the place, 4 abreast. Fogg staying out of trouble, running the shortest line. Probably a smart move in these conditions.
Gawley has improved his 5k strength over the last couple of years as they go through 800 metres in 2:01, but George Mills 12:58 over 5k. He has got so much strength. George Mills, surely he's got to punch it in this last 600.
Well, we have an embarrassment of riches at 1500 metres in the UK. 7 men have got the Olympic qualifying time, but no Jake Whiteman in this race, no Josh Kerr, the world champion, no Elliot Giles, who fell, of course, with Kerr in that 800 metres final. As they come towards the bell now, it's still Fogg in the lead from Mills, Gurley in third. The rest of them there queuing up is Tom Keane in 4th place at the moment. And now Mills hits the front for the first time. Gurley shadowing him, moves onto the shoulder of Fogg and just eases past Fogg there. Archie Davis back in 5th place, 56.9 that third lap. It was a lot quicker, 2:57 at 1,200 metres. Down the back straight now is Mills. Little glance over his shoulder to see who's there. 200 metres to run. Mills from Gurley, from Fogg. The big three there. Keane in 4th, Davis in 5th. Archie Davis in 5th, but George Mills glancing across the straight there, looking very relaxed as Gurley Newman moves onto his shoulder, changes gear, and will expect to go past Mills. Mills a little glance over his shoulder, hasn't got the pace to go with this, but Gurley kicks away, glances over his shoulder, knows he's going to win, and is going to go to Paris. George Mills likewise. Foggy will have to wait and see there. In fact, no, surely, because Kerr is pre-selected. Only the first two will go through to Paris. They have the Olympic qualifying time.
Alright, all done with the UK Olympic trials in the 1500. Actually had long run this morning, straight back on the horse, as they say. 14 miles, ended up feeling pretty good. Race last night, I was reasonably happy with it. I didn't plan on leading, to be honest, and 200 in, found myself at the front and kind of just thought, now that I'm here, I basically just have to do my best to try and hold this and be smart about it and not run extremely hard, but make it honest enough where I was going to be running the kicks out of a few of the kickers. And I think I did a reasonable job with it. It was 60 through 400, 201 through 800, maybe 244 at the bell, and I felt okay throughout. George Mills overtook me right at the bell basically, and I was then just trying to hang in there. It was top two going to the Olympics, and I knew that Neil Gawley and George Mills were going to be the ones to watch. And yeah, down the back straight, Neil came around me. I just tried to hang in there and stick to Neil and George for as long as I could, and in that last 200 they were right there, and I actually felt okay, but I just kind of couldn't close on either of them and settled for third in the end. But to be honest, that is something I'm reasonably happy with. I feel like no one really knows if I'm happy or not with that, and I would say I am reasonably happy. I think I know I gave it my all. I didn't leave anything out there. In an ideal world, I probably wouldn't have led the whole thing, but that's the way it pans out sometimes, and you have to have flexible race plans. You have to be able to adapt to sort of whatever situation you find yourself in, and found myself in the lead and just kind of dealt with it in the best way possible. Ended up third. It's my first outdoor UK medal, and for it to come in an Olympic year is good. It's just a shame that only the top two make the team, but in saying that, I know that a couple of the top guys were missing as well, so yeah, I'm reasonably content with third. And yeah, now straight back to it. I'm actually doing a 5k in 6 days from now, so raced yesterday was Sunday, and racing on Sunday in Holland. Hengelo 5k, very strong field for that. I didn't expect it to be as strong as it is looking like it will be, but yeah, I mean, I want to give a 5k a go at some point. I haven't run one for a few years, so yeah, I think what better way than being thrown to the wolves, as they say. I think the top guys will be going under 13 minutes. I probably won't be going under 13, but yeah, looking forward to giving it a go and seeing what I can do over something slightly longer. I think that rounds it out. Reasonably happy with it, and yeah, on to the next.